all the support that will be given this government. One thing that you can take for granted is that this government is out to work for you, for your interest, to protect and secure you, to defend your business, and to defend your interest. And when I talk about your interest, I'm talking about the interest of the larger majority, not the interest of a tiny few. And as we do that, you will realize that an insignificant but noisy minority will continue to make noise. We did not expect less. The aspire is to blackmail. First of all, they will appeal, they will threaten, they will blackmail. But at the end of the day, what is most important to us is that 99.5% of Abia people are happy. So if you have less than 1% of the people who were beneficiaries of old order and who believe that things should be done the way they were being done before, I think we don't need to pay too much attention to them. And that is the reason why most times we just ignore the people making noise. As they make noise, we will continue to do our work. I will just make you statements, and as usual, I will hand the microphone over to the moderators so that I can hear from you, because this is supposed to be a dialogue and not a monologue. In the area of health, which is one area we declared an emergency on the 29th day of May 2023. I'm glad to report that we continue to make progress. We are not where we want to be, but we definitely are on the way. We have continued to make impact in the health sector. A few weeks ago, less than 2 weeks ago, flagged off the project Equity 200 primary health care center renovation, retrofitting, rebuilding, and replacing being spread over the 184 in the state. So no one was left behind. It is expected that the 200 primary health care centers will be delivered within 100 days. Interestingly, even before we flagged off, some of the health centers had already started receiving attention. One of the coordinators that we set up told me yesterday that 5 in one of the cities, 5 primary health care centers are already ready for commissioning. So I was very glad. Those contractors, I commend them. I understand they started working with their money until the government came in to refund them. So I'm glad that we have 5 in Abia Central ready for commissioning at the moment. But then we still have another 195 that are receiving attention at different levels. The total budgetary allocation for the 200 health center is in excess of 10 billion. And I'm happy to report that that 10 billion is sitting in the account of the Ministry of Health. So anyone that is ready, we are going to pay them because the money is there. That's about the primary health care centers. We are at the final stages of awarded contracts for the renovation and retrofit of the 22 secondary health care center general hospitals. There are some of them that are very terrible states of disrepair. Otti, the one in Otti, the one in Bukualabua, the one in Arochibu, and a few others. Some of them are already receiving attention, and I think about 4 of them at the moment, Otti, Bukualabua, on half year, and one of them is already ready for procurement. And the State University Teaching Hospital is already up and running. Accreditation has been restored, and the regulatory authorities have also increased the number of the admissions that can be done within the university. So things are going well. But we are not at the level where we want to be yet. So we are still working to ensure that we get to the target that we have set for ourselves. Schools of midwifery, school of nursing, and all such schools. I think there are about 3 or 4 of them. One in Amacha, one in Nato, School of Health Technology in Aba. All those have been provided for in the 2025 budget. If my recollection is correct, we have about 16.6 billion provided for in the current year budget to bring them all up to standard. And we must complete that this year so that we'll be able to train our nurses, our healthcare professionals. It's a major area of need. The major challenge is that as you train people, a lot of them vote with their feet. Somebody you will see today, tomorrow is in Dubai or in India or in Abu Dhabi or in some of those places. Even the UK, taking a lot of our medical personnel, but we would be discouraged by that. We will continue churning out our people who are interested. There are also a lot of people who are interested in remaining here too. So we wouldn't, because people are Japan refuse to commit the resources that they provide. Somehow it is also a blessing in disguise, because as they take off, they get better rewarded than they remit money home. That's why at last count I understand about 23 billion dollars credited every year from our brothers and sisters who live abroad. So if we get to the level where we're exporting experts, to generate foreign currency. Why not? So all we need to do is to encourage our people to go to those schools, and those schools must be standard. And that's why we've committed over 16 billion for this project to ensure that our people are properly trained. Our medical missions are looking at the vaccine from California, and last month we have conducted close to 100 summits, major summits, and have done over 800 consultations. We are still here at the 18 weekend. That is the number of people, Nigerians and non-Nigerians alike, came here in the last 10 years to attend to the very last year, the invitation of the gentleman from when I saw what they did last, I applied for them to come again this year. They came, they have only provided some of the logistic support, and they are close to 50. Doing very well. We also had, as a government, supported our people by introducing free medical care in the first 7 months of our administration. A lot of our people benefited from it. So, for us as a government, we are very, very sure that the schools have adequate facilities and adequate teachers, and that is what we are working around the clock. Besides the recruitments, we have also started an intensive training, retraining of the existing teachers. A lot of them have benefited, and some of them that have benefited have also become trainers themselves, so that because we're interested in what our children are being taught and who is teaching them and what does the person teaching them know. You cannot give what you don't have. So we are very passionate about learning here, because just think of yourself. There's nothing you do today that you did not learn. And if you learn the wrong thing, of course, you'll be doing the wrong thing. In terms of tertiary education, we are paying attention to both the Abia State University, whose government council we have just inaugurated, and the white paper of the visitation panel. We also released that we are implementing part of the recommendation, which we agreed to move some of the different campuses in different places back to richer space. I think the one in Umaya has started moving. I understand the Faculty of Law is still conducting exams that will end next month. By the time that happens, they will relocate back to so that we have a university community that is a proper university community, where a university will pass through people, students, and students will pass through the university. We are also committed resources to ensure that the movement will be seamless in terms of facilities where students use for classrooms and residents, and of course, the teachers also have their quarters. We believe we can do it, and we have already put that in the budget and started work. Our Chukwu College of Education, our Abia State College of Education, technical It's a place with a lot of potentials, large grounds that the regulator have been underutilized and abandoned. The enrollment falling to an all-time low of just about 150 students or thereabout, and teachers also about that number. So, you agree with me that it's a big joke. We have already started working on it, ensuring the students and property and teachers. We are also working on ensuring that there is good water and there is electricity in the place. Then the curriculum, the teaching staff, and of course, finally the students. We also going to work on that, ensure that we have a proper college of education where teachers will be trained. It's not going to be an easy one. We're going to take a little bit of time. But we are single-minded about it. In fact, even yesterday, this time I was sitting with the Honorable Commissioner for Tertiary Education and our team, and we set up a committee that will work with the university to ensure that all the identified items are taken one after the other before we begin to think of accreditation. I'm confident that we are going to turn this around. In terms of infrastructure, we continue to be focused because it is an area where we lagged behind for several decades. And there are no amount of roads that we build that will be enough. We are taking them one step at a time, knowing that Rome was not built in a day. A lot of the roads we had, the flag off have been completed. Some of them have been commissioned, others are waiting to be commissioned. But as that is going on, continue flag off roads are just coming from Opuri, where we flagged off a 13.95 kilometer route from Opuri, from Onwenya through Opuri to Boro, Iguana, 2 sections. It was very, very interesting to see virtually everybody in those communities pour out for the flag off today. It was also interesting to listen to their stories, where I was told that the last time something like a road was done around that axis was under Dr. M.I. Opara. And these are communities for which we are known for producing cocoa, rice, and things like that. So we have not only given them a voice and access, but we have also made their economic life better, because they are, by the time we are done in another 6 months with those roads, it becomes easy to evacuate their produce to the townships. And of course, a new lease of life becomes possible in those places. So I was very happy to see old women, old men, traditional rulers, students, everybody pour out in their numbers to celebrate the construction of access road to those different communities spanning two senatorial zones of Bende. I mean, Abia North and Abia Central. By next week, we'll also be flagging off the Omenoko Bridge somewhere around Abba. Those who are old enough who know the story of Omenoko Bridge. This place had been a death trap in the last couple of decades. I understand the family lost every child on that axis, on that bridge some time ago. So work has already started, and we will just flag off the bridge and the road by next Tuesday. I believe that by the time we do that, we would have flagged off 6 out of the 9 roads we awarded last month. And of course, a lot of other roads that have made it into the 2025 budget will also be flagged off. The interesting thing for us, sometimes people struggle to understand how we are doing it. But for us, the most important thing is that you have to focus on what you need. We are not in competition with anybody. We believe that we have been shortchanged in terms of access. And whatever it takes, we must give our people access. By the time we are done with that, when somebody else comes, he can focus on other things. That is how societies grow. In terms of security, we continue to do whatever it's possible to ensure that our people sleep with their 2 eyes closed. It's not been easy, but then we are prepared to keep awake so that you can sleep well. Today, I had handed over 5 APCs. These APCs stands for, you know what it stands for? Armored Personnel Carriers. That is the APCs we are talking about. And they are not brand new, but they were abandoned for several years, some of them decades. But if you know this rugged equipment, they don't die. But then if you abandon them, they abandon you. And so we picked them up, retrofitted them, cost a lot of money, but we were able to fix all of them. And some of them we had to change the engines completely. And interestingly, they are all back to life. And we've handed them over to the police today to ensure that they are better equipped to respond to aggression and threats. And we will continue to do everything possible to ensure that this place is safe. We are happy that during this past season of Christmas and New Year, our state was relatively safe, and all the hotels in Aba and Omuaha were completely full. And we had a lot of people coming from the diaspora. Some of them extended their stay, some are still around. That's what it's about, that our people come and feel safe. Our government is determined, whatever it takes. Sometimes when we apprehend some of the people who thought they were invincible, like one of them we apprehended in Lagos, swore that this governor does automobile. He thought his native doctors were very strong, and he was on his way to Turkey when we nabbed him. And he said to God, this governor, his own native doctor is stronger than mine.
But it's all intelligence. And we will continue to do whatever we can to ensure that this place is safe. And I call upon everyone to be the chief security officer of your own little environment, wherever you are. Be vigilant. Suspicious movements, report them immediately. Don't be afraid. There is no way criminals will lord it over you. So feel free to report any suspicious character and we will take them on. We continue to also discourage our young people from illicit substances because that's another area that encourages crime. So even if you suspect or see somebody involved in drugs, please just let the security agencies or anybody in government know, and we'll take it off. We have zero tolerance for it. We continue to also work to ensure that our people are gainfully engaged. I've always said it that when you gainfully engage a lot of people, they will become unavailable for crime and criminality. It is an economic truism. There is nothing you can do about it. The saying that an idle mind is the devil's workshop is very, very true. So some of the things we are doing are geared towards creating an enabling environment for our people's businesses. Luckily, our people are business-minded and they are entrepreneurs. So all they require is an enabling environment to do what they know how to do best. So we'll continue to do that. In the area of waste management, we have continued to do our best to keep our place clean. I think having gone as far as we've gone in the last 20 months, we've now got to that level where we want to go to the point of waste management, proper treatment and conversion of the waste to wealth. We are at the point where we are taking proposals and we are going through them to determine who and who will partner with so that all the rubbish we are cutting away can be converted into useful outcomes like generation of power and things in that nature, of that nature. So that is the next stage. But suffice it to say that the Abia State Environmental Protection Agency has done very well, and I'm happy and proud that the members of that team are putting in their best and working around the clock to ensure that we are no longer described as the dirtiest state in Nigeria. I think somebody says that we are now in the category of the cleanest state. It's not yet in Huru. We are not celebrating yet. We will probably not celebrate because the reward work is more work. So I use this opportunity to call on my colleagues who are involved in cleaning our environment to even do more. I believe that I have touched a lot of areas, and I want to stop here and hand the microphone over to the moderators and the anchors so that we can take your questions. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you once more for listening. Thank you for attending. Thank you for supporting this government and wish you well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for this opportunity once again. Distinguished colleagues, we will not waste further time. We also want to thank members of the State Cabinet for being here today. I am standing by to represent Sun FM 91.3. Ibere, my colleague here.
My name is Jennifer Bassi, representing Flow 94.9 FM. To our guests and members of the press, we appreciate your interest in this event and your role in helping to facilitate this important conversation. With that, let us get started. Please join me in welcoming the governor once again. Please, can we put our hands together for the governor? Thank you. Thank you so much. This interaction is airing live on BCA 88.1 FM, Flow 94.9 FM, Family Love 99.9 FM.
We also have a Magic 102.9 FM, Vision Africa 104.1 FM, Umaya, Real FM 99.1.
Also airing on Pace Setter 103.5 FM, Sun FM 91.3 Ibere, Sun FM 91.9 Aba.
You can also listen to this simulcast on Zik 96.3 FM, 3 FM, and Rapid 95 FM over here.
And it's also airing, streaming live on AF News, ABN TV, Ibere TV, and other online platforms. For SMS, you can send any SMS to us. We're going to read it via our socials. The number is 0907 462 1067. I will take that again. 0907 462 1067.
Quickly, we'll start with online. We'll go to please a single question. We'll not take the questions from you online. Okay, I can see other facts. Let's have other facts, please.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Emenike Iro Ebu, and I report for All Facts newspaper. My question is simply concerning the issues we are having at Cemetery Market. Is it the Zuku Market? Your Excellency, I made a brief trip a few days ago to Akwa Ibom. So when I got there, my friends decided to host me. A drink was brought, and somebody said, I hope it's not for Baba. While you are making attempt, Excellency, to change the narrative of the state, the narrative that is coming from there is damaging the commercial hub itself. So, a few days ago, your commissioner made a statement as regards that. I would like to know, what exactly are the plan of the government in terms of enforcing and making sure that market is sanitized and making sure that every product we get from that market is the right product? Thank you, sir.
Okay, we also have ABN. ABN, please.
All right. Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Ifani Okale for ABN TV and radio. Your Excellency, the issue of waivers or forfeiture of pension and gratuity arrears from pensioners in the states remains unresolved. During your last media chat, you stated that the government would only revisit the memorandum of agreement if the Nigerian Union of Pensioners, NUP, returns what was paid to them. With this in mind, they seek clarification of the following. Your Excellency, are you asking NUP to return the pensions already paid to pensioners, or are you referring to another form of payment made to another individuals or groups? if you meant the pensions already paid, wouldn't that be considered and eliminate of the pensioners? Shouldn't the decision therefore focus on settling any outstanding balance rather than returning what has already been paid? Does this condition align with the provisions of the Memorandum of Agreement on paragraph 7A, which stated that any dispute arising from the agreement should be mutually resolved through discussion between the parties? Furthermore, sorry. NUP claims to have written different letters requesting a meeting to address this matter. The first two letters, which are investigated, were submitted through the secretary to the state government, SSG, while the third was sent directly via courier after receiving no response till today. Your Excellency, given paragraph 7A of the agreement, why has the government not convened this meeting to resolve this issue? Lastly, pensioners has proposed 3 possible options for resolving this matter. 1, to clear outstanding arrears as initially promised. 2, settle arrears installments in immediate full payment, or it's not visible. To leave arrears as they are, allow future administration to address them. Your Excellency, which of these options are you inclined to consider? We appreciate your response, clarification on these pressing concerns, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, please, the last question for online. Who do we have there online?
No.
Okay.
How many are you taking?
3.
Is it 3?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir, 3. Good evening. Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Kingsley Alozie. I write for Candid Reporters. My question is centered on Kingsley Alozie. My question is centered on education. Recently, you approved the employment of over 2,000 teachers. Just to clarify what is out there, the previous administration employed 5,666 teachers, which were also disengaged because they were tagged unlawfully employed. Just to clear what is out there, did you issue a kind of executive fiat for those sets of teachers to be employed first before any other set of teachers in this current recruitment you ordered? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Let me start with Kingsley's question. I am not aware that I disengaged any teachers. And I can tell you I did not. So if somebody was not properly engaged, then I'm not accountable for that. So we set out the criteria, and it's very, very clear. If you were part of, you are 5,000, you talked about, is it 5,000? I'm not the one that is engaged. But if there are any of them that is qualified based on the criteria we set out, they are allowed to apply.
Your Excellency, I think he was talking about the former government. They were disengaged by the past administration, yes. Not your government, the administration before.
I can't take responsibility for that. I was not governor then. So if somebody disengaged them, you may take your question to them. So I can only take responsibility for what I did. And that's why I thought you were saying that I disengaged them. Okay, so if I didn't disengage them, I'm just hearing the news. So please, if you know them, tell them to apply if they are qualified. Okay. If I or Kali, I can see you are not old enough, so I cannot say you are a pensioner. So maybe you have been engaged by the pensioners. And it is interesting, if you are engaged, you better declare it. So that we know we are facing the pensioners. The way we are copiously quoting sections of the MOA, you forgot to also quote that you saw that they signed. Did you see that they signed the memorandum of agreement? Because I saw a newspaper report yesterday that said they didn't sign. So you can see that we are dealing with a very dishonest set of leaders. The pensioners are honest people. Their leaders are dishonest. And we don't reward dishonesty. So if you made a mistake, you come and say, I made a mistake. Don't say I didn't sign. Don't say I was deceived to sign. You went to school. You sat through. Somebody was owing you. I wasn't. I never owed them. And they kept quiet all this while. Some of them for 10 years. And somebody comes out to say, I want to clear this backlog. And they were excited. I have told the story several times. So once you start from a dishonest point of view, I cannot deal with you. So if you like, twist the question 100 times. I will not deal with them because they are very dishonest. But the pensioners themselves are happy that they were paid. Okay? And these people signed, they have walked away from everything. And I said, no, it's not fair. Out of my own magnanimity. But I'm not going to be discouraged because a few people are dishonest. And I have investigated it and I found that it is PDP. Including their lawyer is a PDP lawyer. So if they are not stupid, why would they hire somebody who had owed them for 10 years to come and be disparaging somebody who offered to pay? And since the time I paid, I've been paying 100% on the 28th of every month. Genuine pensioners are happy everywhere. But the contractors who feel they can make money, you know, you come on, when you want to take bribe, you put yourself in a position where somebody will now begin to ask you questions. I will not deal with them. I've finished with them. If they like, since they have an option, they can go to court. The question to ask them is, why didn't they go to court in the last 10 years? So I think we have sufficiently dealt with this matter. I will not deal with it again here. So if somebody is unhappy that he's being paid his 100% pension every month, he should return the one that he has been paid and then go and continue wearing black. Okay? So please, let us move on. Because when I saw 2 days ago, I think it was the Vanguard, where they said they never signed anything. I said, yes, we are now getting there. Before they said they were deceived. And of course, genuine pensioners has disowned them. And, oh, come, they want us to call them to a negotiation. I will not call them. If they don't like what is happening, they should return all the money they have been paid and then declare a dispute. So we can now go and deal with the dispute. You can't collect the money and then come back to say you didn't agree. It is dishonesty, and I don't deal with dishonest people. Thank you. MNK, thank you for your question. about cemetery market and fake drugs and fake products. I was also as embarrassed when I saw it. But you know, anywhere there is genuine product, there will be a fake product. Okay, so it's not strange that some people are making fake products. My attitude is that if you can make fake products, you can also make genuine ones. So why don't you just move from faking it to making a genuine product and calling it your own name? You don't need to manufacture this biro or this pen. You don't need to call it the name that this one bears. Okay? So you can manufacture your own and call it MNK or Alex. That's what I encourage our people to do. You know, because of the greed, you want to sell the copy as original and you want to make the money. So I have directed my people in government to ensure that we will continue from where NAFDAC stopped, to raid and stop them in their tracks. If you want to manufacture a product, go through the process. Get a NAFDAC registration. Call it, if it is wine, call it Obiora wine. It must not be Eva. It must not be Omoto. Call it your own. Go through the process. Sell it cheap. That is how China started. Initially, they say, oh, from China are fake. Today, virtually every product comes from China. Okay? The time we were growing up, when you bring a Japanese car, they say it's fake. Everybody knew about Citroen. If you are old enough, Peugeot, Citroen, and the Mercedes and the rest of them. But today, Japanese cars are easily one of the best in the world. So I do not have a problem making your own products, but I have a problem with you faking the product of somebody else and trying to pass it as the original version. Okay, so we are going to come down very hard on them. They are giving us a bad name, and that is not who we are. Our people are industrious. They are making a lot of things in Aba. And just make it and call it your name. Don't fake it. That's the position of government. I don't know if I've answered your question. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Move straight to radio, please. Remember, only one question. I want to see you. Okay, go ahead. Yes, go ahead. Write it.
Your Excellency, sir. Good evening, sir. My name is Kingsley Onwuka. I work with Rapid FM Omaya. Your Excellency, now we have flagged off the 200 primary health care center in Abia State with the Mugos amount that you have mentioned. So I would like you to specifically clarify some issue, what your administration is doing to address the issue of shortage of healthcare professionals in rural areas. And how do you plan to intensify doctors and nurses to practice in these undeserved communities? Thank you.
Next, please. Okay. The lady, let's just move to the lady.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Mary Mito Collins, corresponding for Spain FM. Mary Mito Collins. All right. Your Excellency, staff of Homeland Security are still receiving 40,000 Naira monthly stipends. They are not even accommodated in the minimum wage and have remained stagnant in their position with no promotion and no leadership or whatsoever. Why, I want to ask, where do they belong? Are they staff or contractors? Are they civil servants? Homeland Security. Homeland Security. Why is it that you are yet to correct the abnormalities noticed in the consequential adjustment of the new minimum wage? Sorry? Thank you.
Second question.
It's still part of the first question.
No, I'm struggling to connect them. So which one do you want to ask?
But
You can't ask both. Anyway, I'll choose which one I want to answer.
okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, we'll take one last question. The lady behind Mary Meeting. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Chioma Dixon Paul. I report for Vision Africa Radio. Sir, mine is on the leave allowances of civil servants in the state. Sir, if I could recall, in one of the media rallies we had last year, you did mention that a committee has been set up to look into the leave allowance. And then you said that those that actually observed the leave allowances, their leave, that they will be paid their leave allowances. And up until now, they said nothing has been done. And they've asked me to find out from you, sir. Some of them have asked me to find out from you, sir, when the leave allowances will be paid.
All right. All right. Chioma is now an advocate of the civil servants. Okay, so leave allowances allowances you take when you are going on leave, right? So if you haven't gone on leave, you should try and go on leave so that you can take your allowance. Okay, so and like you rightly observed, we set up a committee to look at those, and those who have gone on leave have got their allowances. So tell those people that sent you that it's time to go on leave so that they can also get their allowances. The Kingsley Onwuka, you know, I had also addressed the issue of healthcare professionals. I acknowledged that there is a paucity of healthcare professionals, not just in Abia State, but everywhere in Africa, really. But Nigeria is hard hit. If you know the number of medical doctors, nurses, and other healthcare professionals from Nigeria that are in the US alone, you will be shocked. And it's the same thing in the UK and in other places like UAE and Saudi Arabia. So because it's attractive for a lot of them, and you cannot catch them. And that is why I said that in our 2025 budget, that we, in fact, as a matter of fact, 16.6 billion, that will go into retrofitting and keeping schools of healthcare, health management, schools of nursing and midwifery, the one in Amachara, the one in Umunna, the one in Aba. And the whole idea is to ensure that we continue to churn out new professionals. First of all, to fill the gap, and also to prepare us for the rainy day when people will continue, because you cannot keep them. They will continue to move insofar as the conditions of service are not the same. And also to keep them we have also improved and we continue to improve their allowances and their compensation packages. That's how we have thought about it. Mary Little Collins, is that correct? Why are you putting Little in Mary? Okay, and then you now took the lion's share by asking 2 questions. Yeah, so I changed your name to Mary Big. Homeland Security. So anybody who is on contract, his payment will be based on the contract that he signed. So if you are not a civil servant and you applied for a job and you got the job under terms that we are mutually agreed, then that's what it is. Okay, and unfortunately, there has been a waiver before I got here. And because there has been a waiver, and we know that the civil service is overpopulated, it has more people than the jobs available. But we are not in a hurry to sack anybody, because when they are sacked, they will also become a problem. You need to look for somewhere to keep them. So, and that is why we continue to manage. The head of Homeland Security is here, and I'm sure he's even I know a lot of applications that he has got today. People who are even at the 40,000 that you are denigrating, people want to join. And so that's what it is. The other question, because you agreed for me to change your name, I'm going to answer it. You agreed for your name to be Mary Big, right? Okay, so your question was, why have we not implemented the consequential adjustment? Who told you that? We have already done that. And you thought it was just the minimum wage that we implemented. If we implemented only the minimum wage for grade level 1, then what it would have meant if we did not implement consequential adjustment is that grade level 1 will be any more than grade level 2 to 3 to 4. But it's not like that. So we have. What I believe you wanted to ask is that there are some concerns about people or civil servants at grade levels 15, 16, and 17. Those are big men and women like you. And the issue of minimum wage is to take care of the small people, reducing the gap between the haves and the have-nots. So what we did was everybody got a consequential adjustment. But then the adjustments from grade level 1 to, I believe, grade level 7 were higher than for big men. So, but the big men are pushing that their own adjustments should also be higher, so that, that passage in Matthew where it is said that unto him who has, more shall be given. And from him who doesn't have, even the little which he has will be given, taken from him and given to him who has, so that he will have abundance. We don't agree with that passage of the Bible. So we are still working on it. That some more adjustments can be made, while we have our eyes on our ability to pay. Because that is critical. You can agree to pay 1 billion and you don't have 1 billion to pay. So it will be a situation of promising and failing. This government does not promise and fail. So whatever we cannot do, we will tell you clearly that we cannot do it. And whatever we agree to do, we must do it. So don't let them put you under pressure. You need to return it to them to say, how much are you earning now? Are you earning the same amount you were earning before? I'm sure if you retorted with that question, they will leave you alone. All right. Have I answered your question? Thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Please, I think we're really proceeding well. Please, a round of applause for His Excellency once again. And as you all know, we have a number of stations who are carrying this event live, and definitely will read that out for you once again. We have PCA 88.1 FM, we have Flow 94.9 FM, we also have Family Love 99.9 FM.
Also be reminded that this program is airing live on Magic 102.9 FM, Vision Africa 104.1 FM, Real FM 99.1 FM.
And also Pisita 103.5 FM, Sun FM 91.3, Mary, Sun FM 91.9, Abba.
Zik FM 96.3 FM, Spin 95.3 FM, and Rapid 96.5 FM.
And it's also streaming live on FM News, ABN TV, Ibero TV, and other online platforms.
We still anticipate your messages. Please send it to the number 0907 462 1067. Thank you.
We'll go straight. I know those in the print media already expecting that. It's your time. And don't forget just one question. The print media. Great stuff. Okay. Sunny Nation.
Your Excellency, my name is Sonny Wankwo, and I write for The Nation newspaper. The Aba residents and Eyimba supporters are worried that every match day when Eyimba have international matches to play, we move businesses, both transportation and the micro businesses that the state should have benefited from hosting such big match to the Akwa Ibom state. Your Excellency, the supporters of Eyimba are asking, when are they hoping to have Eyimba, their darling team, play international matches in Aba? I have personally gone around Eyimba Stadium, sir, and that stadium, to an extent, is fall short of an international stadium, sir. What are you doing to ensure that not just Eyimba returning to the stadium to play, but to ensure that that stadium hosts other international matches? For me, sir, Eyimba is just having that international name on paper. There's nothing to reflect to it. Thank you, sir.
Okay, we have behind you, please. Behind him, sorry, we'll come back. So sorry about that.
Good evening, Your Excellency. I am Carlo Ezi of Leadership Newspapers. So I was happy when you mentioned that work is ongoing at Omenoko Bridge. I mean the ongoing project there. So if you move further on that road, you get to Mori, which has become a death trap. Recently, there have been 2 accidents there, which claimed about 15 lives. Your Excellency, I've been wondering whether you consider taking the same measures you've taken on that bridge to see that these accidents are reduced. Thank you very much.
Okay, a final question. Well, you touched the mic before. We'll just give you to also ask your question, yes.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Leonard Okachi of the News Agency of Nigeria, NAN. Your Excellency, I wish to commend you for your efforts in the education sector more especially this recent program of free and compulsory education. Personally, our organization did a special report on this. We went to schools, and then what we discovered, of course, the explosion in registration, which is true. But Your Excellency, I am worried. My worry is that on the area of common entrance, which we learned has been phased out and has been replaced with another exam, which they call general placement test. And also the primary school living certificate exam, which also have been replaced with primary school living assessment test. On this aspect, parents, of course, from the information I got here, that parents are to register, of course, the schools, the proprietors and the other head teachers are to register their wards for the examinations. And this exam, they are asked to pay, for the information I got here, 20,500 naira per student, per candidate. And we are talking about free and compulsory education. For somebody who you're giving free and compulsory education, being asked to pay such an amount, I don't know whether this is coming, but the memo says the Director, Examination Development Center, which I believe is under the Ministry of Education. I want clarification. This amount that being asked to pay, 20,500 naira for the registration and 1,000 naira for booklet, is it coming from the Ministry of Education or coming from the private sector? If it is private sector, private proprietors or whatever, what are you doing as a government to prevail on this, to avoid these arbitrary charges from the schools? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Bernard. Let me start from you. I'm surprised I'm not aware of it. So what I will do is to, I believe the commissioner is not here, but then Commissioner for Information, please, can you engage with the Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education on this, so that we get the true facts and respond accordingly. Like I've always told you, I cannot know everything, and I'm not afraid to say I do not know. But one thing that you can be sure of is that any issue that is mentioned here, we'll go back, investigate, and deal with it accordingly. The Carlo talked about Omenuko Bridge, and then you are talking about another bridge that I'm not aware of. Imori? Epore?
Mori. Your Excellency, Mori is at Ebemo Havia. It's a link between Abam and Ebem.
Okay, okay. All right, I will also ask. I don't know everywhere in Abia State. I haven't heard of the bridge before, but then now that you have mentioned it, you know, like I did say, Rome was not built in a day. This bridge you are talking about must have started getting dilapidated a long time ago. So we'll take them one step at a time. So one thing you can be sure is that we have awarded and started working on the Omenuko Bridge. So I will also take this one, I take note of this, and ask the people concerned to scope it so that we can deal with it accordingly. Soniwankwo Enyimba Stadium renovation, that will be done. Again, don't also forget that we are just 20 months. So we are taking things gradually based on our ability and our resources. But suffice it to also note that we are not even stopping at Enyimba Stadium. While we will bring it up to speed, we have also started the process of getting a brand new stadium for Umuahia. And we believe that the township stadium in Umuahia is so constrained. And even though we've spent some money to just retrofit it, But we believe that Umuahia requires a standard stadium. And at the moment, we are engaging with a partner who has concluded the design of a 40,000 capacity stadium. They are going to come with the money, and then we'll work out an arrangement whereby they own a certain percentage of the stadium and take their money back over a period of time while the government partners with them. I'm confident that before the end of the first half of this year, that that stadium would have been flagged off and construction will begin. That is how far we have gone in the issue of stadia in Abia State. Thank you very much. Over to you again.
Thank you, His Excellency. We're going to move to TV right about now. 3 representatives. Okay, we'll start with Afia TV in front here.
Okay, all right. Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Emmanuel Mwazwe. I report for Afia TV. Your Excellency, I came to this place directly from Ohafia. Assignment spot was at that Moray Bridge. In fact, about 7 people lost their lives coming home for Christmas at that particular bridge when a trailer fell on their car and they died. So that's what Kalezi was talking about. But I must commend you. I passed through Omenoko Bridge too. I saw what was going on there. Very good. So I want to say kudos to your government for looking at that. We also want to see such transformation on that Moray Bridge. But the difference there is that the Moray Bridge issue, the road connecting there, was a federal government project. But as I talk to you, the contractors are no longer there. They've moved away, they've stopped work. So the people are calling for attention, either that you talk to our brother who is the work minister, federal work minister, to come back there and see what's happening, or the state government takes, action. Similarly, meanwhile, on the 27th of December, another life was lost. And that was in my own village. So, autonomous community in Isialambwa North. During our last year's media parley, I brought up the issue there to you. You did say that there was something you were trying to fix with New Map concerning that particular road. Unfortunately, the last person that fell into that gully was that of the 27th of December 2024. And he was the 5th person to fall in there and the 3rd person to die there. So that tells you how important but very dangerous that Opuluku erosion site is. So I'm using this opportunity, Your Excellency, to ask that whatever plans being made about that Opuluku road be sped up so that we'll heave a sigh of relief instead of recording every time loss of lives. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Thank you. 2 more to go. Can see hands raised over there. Yes.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Chinwe Ugele. I work with News Central TV. Your Excellency, before I ask my question, I want to say something about the Eziuku market raid. I'd like to bring it to your notice that it's not the first time NAFDAC or Standard Organization of Nigeria will be raiding that market. In fact, it's an annual event. But what bothers me is that why is it persistent? Why is NAFDAC, since they already know where this thing happens, but then every year they keep raiding that place? Have they taken any decisive action on that? So, Your Excellency, I'd like you to put that into cognizance when handling that matter. Now, to my question, between February and September 2024, some personnel of the vigilante service who were perceived to be, the strong hands of that unit, security unit, we are disengaged by the leadership of the Homeland Security Service in the state. And this caused a lot of disaffection within the agency. There have also been reported mass resignations of some persons who felt aggrieved. Your Excellency, this has also led to the resignation of some more persons who are supposed to be contributing to the job that that agency does. My question is, Your Excellency, are you aware of this development, and what would you do to remedy the situation? Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're going to wrap up with Chinwe.
Nenab, sorry.
Sorry.
Okay, good evening, Your Excellency. Good evening, everyone. My name is Nena Gabriel. I report for TVC News. Your Excellency, I also want to start with thanking you for the work you started doing at Okoi community. That community that lacked water, potable water at that. So I did a report on that last year, and I'm happy to get a report that they are almost getting clean water from that village. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. And then to my question, the people of Okwa are complaining that they don't feel the presence of the government in their area. And that same complaint comes from Obingwa. So I don't know if there is any road you have flagged off for construction at Obingwa. And then Okwa. I know that of Owaza. But apart from that, which the focus is on the industrial park. So are there roads you flagged off at these two, local government areas? And if there are, please, I would like to know. Thank you, sir. I can sit down, sir.
What part of Okwa? There are two local governments. Which one?
The two Okwas, Okwa East and West.
Where are you from?
Your Excellency, I come from Obingwa local government area.
All right.
I'm married to a Bende man.
All right. Thank you. There is Nena, there is no, let me start from you. There is no local government that we have not flagged off one road or another, including Obingwa. If you were here between November and December, you would have known about the road from Omoba that transverses all the way to Itungwa. The last time I checked, Itungwa was in Obingwa, and I'm sure it has not changed. You probably may not also know that the Omoba road in Obo Hill is part of Obingwa. The road, New Mwaiha Road. So we don't discriminate There is also another part of Obingwa. I'm trying to remember the place that links with Akrekobu. Where is Akrekobu?
Akiko Busolokwa. Great, yes.
Okay. Can you give him the microphone so that he can say it well? I hand over the microphone to Prof.
Thank you, sir. We have 12.6 kilometer road that goes through 6 villages in Obingwa. From Hanze, Ntuozo, Omoha, Obete, Oberete, Akrikobu. Okay. It's on now. Okay. Every person is jubilated.
Okay. All right. Now, in Okwa West, a lot of routes have been done by a Sopadek there. In fact, when I was looking at the routes that have been completed, some of them are nearing completion. So many of them in Okwa West. So I hope it is this same Okwa you are talking about. If anything, I think the people there are happy. Thank you for thanking me about the water that we are almost completing. And this year, we are going to be embarking aggressively on water projects. In fact, we have just acquired a state-of-the-art massive drilling rig, which we paid for and is in the state now. And in a few days, it will move to action. The whole idea is to ensure that our different communities have potable water. And that is going to happen. Chimwe, thank you for your comment about Cemetery Road Red. The way you made your comment, it does appear that you probably think I work for NAFDAC. I don't. So I cannot respond to question on behalf of NAFDAC. But I can tell you that since we came into power, we have cooperated with them and given them support because we do not support fake products. So clearly it shows you how resilient the people are. You chase them, they run away, tomorrow they regroup again. So we'll continue to chase them. Vigilante servicemen that were disengaged, yes, I'm aware that, in fact, I approved the disengagement. And there were reasons why they were disengaged. And so you are now saying that some people are resigning. It is a natural tendency. They came voluntarily, and if they want to resign, you cannot put a rope on their neck and ask them not to resign. What you probably did not also say is that a lot more people are also applying to be engaged. So it is natural for people to take up a job at the time they like to take the job, and when they have secured another job or when they are tired, they exercise their fundamental human right to resign. So it is no news that people are resigning. As people are resigning, more people are applying. That is how life is. Emma Wazwe, Afia TV, thank you for your comment about the Imori Bridge and for the information that is a federal project. I've taken that on board, and I am, I really probably didn't remember that because I was with the Honorable Minister of Works last Friday, basically to discuss the states of federal routes, the state of federal routes in the state, particularly the Port Harcourt-Aba Expressway. I would make it a point to see him again so that I can get the contractors to come back to work, since by your account it's a federal road. Thank you very much. The question about Opuluku Road, which said that we are engaging new map in. I think we're almost there. So our people say, nah, here for to Agulagu. So since we have a professional who has taken over as the project coordinator for NewMap, and he has also put this road and a few others in the front burner. I'm aware of what I'm saying. I believe that that will be handled momentarily. I sympathize with the families who have lost loved ones in those places, and I would like to advise that people should be vigilant and careful so that we don't continue to hear stories of people who lost their lives in those places. I guess that's about it. Over to you, moderators.
Thank you very much. And first, vertically, we'll drop it on the questions from the various groups here. But we'll go straight to the text messages we have, and then very few of them. Let's start with this one. It says, we residents of Lodun Dumay Estate have repeatedly cried out over severe flooding in the estate, blaming poor drainage systems and inadequate infrastructure. Many homes have been damaged, roads rendered impassable, and daily life disrupted. Despite numerous appeals, they said no significant action has been taken. What immediate and long-term measures is your administration putting in place to address this crisis and prevent future occurrences?
The second comment says, good evening to you all. My name is Ifeanyi Michael from Umar here. I'm a member of the Abia State Vigilante Service. Since 2019 till now, I have not received anything called salary. Please tell the governor.
Okay, we also have this commentary said, good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Adi Chiagosium Liberis. It is alleged that Abia states only generate revenue from transportation and markets. Please, Mr. Governor, how do your administration plan on creating more means of revenue? This is from Adi Chiagosium Liberis.
All right, thank you. Let me start with Adibe Chiagozie. The allegation that Abia State generates revenue from transportation and market is not true. As a matter of fact, our internally generated revenue moved from 17 billion in 2023 to about 39 billion in 2024. So we are not where we want to be, but our target for 2024 was 32 billion. And we surpassed it by 7 billion. That is in spite of the tax holidays that we had given some people and our non-aggressive stance in terms of internally generated revenue. And this is simply because of my strong belief in my position that taxation and revenue generation is government's share of the prosperity it has created amongst the populace. So we believe that the government needs to give first before asking. And you will agree with me that this government has given enough and can now ask. And that is why in our projection for this financial year, we expect to generate over 100 billion from internally generated revenue. So if we have that kind of projection, then there's no way we will be relying on transportation and markets alone. There's a lot of other activities, economic activities that are going on in the state. And it is for government to ensure that the East entitlement is collected by the government. If I am Michael, now you've not collected salaries in the AVS. That's very strange. The question for you is, why have you not collected salaries? Are you leaving the salary for government? Are you dashing us money? Or are you not working? Because sometimes when people don't say they've not been paid for 1 year, the next question is, in that 1 year, what have you been doing? Because I don't know how somebody will be working for 1 year, 2 years, and this is 2025. Have not been paid. That means you are not working. So you need to approach the head of Homeland Security, who is here, and ensure that he knows you are working, and then you can now make your claim. But the first thing that occurs to me is that you are not at work, because at least if you said you were not paid up to 2023, then I can understand that. But from 2023, when we came to you now, we are not owing anybody. The first commentator, I didn't get his name, talked about flooding at Lodundume. I've taken note of that. I've not heard about that before. I don't know where exactly this flooding is happening, but my colleagues are here, and I would like them to go and find out. Of course, this is dry season, so you probably not see flooding happen at this time. But then if it is in such a state, like you described, at least we'll see remnants and traces of it, so that we can scope it and deal with it before the next rains come. If it's possible for this gentleman to give us his details so that we can liaise with him directly, that would be helpful. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, to wrap up, we have 2 comments that I'm going to take. This one says, "Good evening, sir. Our promise-keeping, sir, your administration has truly launched the state onto a path of irreversible growth and development. His Excellency, sir, when is your administration going to pay compulsorily retired directors their gratuity in line with the standard best of the letter of their disengagement, indicating that benefits will be promptly paid to them?" The second comment is, "His Excellency, good evening, sir. There is no doubt that your administration is dutifully taking Abia State to an enviable height. Mr. Governor, the public would like to know if pensions and gratuities are statutory aimed entitlements of retirees that worked for Abia State government, or is it gift from Abia State government?" From Clinton Ibe. Thank you.
All right. The Clinton Ibe, thank you for your positive comments. And then your question about pension and gratuity, whether they are entitlements or they are gifts. I don't know what the difference is, but if you are entitled to anything based on a contract that you've signed and you kept your own part of the bargain, then I believe that your employer should also keep his own part of the bargain. The reason why we went back to areas owed by our predecessors is because we felt that it's only a good thing to do. Unfortunately, some of the so-called leadership of pensioners saying, oh, leave those ones. Of course, that's the easiest thing to have done. Just throw our hands in the air to say, I'm not owing you. I think from the time I came, I have been paying you. But then in our church mind, we chose to go back and defray what our predecessors were owing. And I think I don't want to say that some of these people are showing bad example and discouraging good behavior. Because just like my predecessors came and didn't bother about all those payments, I could have come and I won't bother about them. Nothing, you won't do anything. But that is not my style. But I'm very straightforward and I'll tell you what I can do and what I cannot do. So if you decided that you are going to trick me and you are going to deceive me and then collect and come back and all that, you are joking. It's not going to work because I'm already, I've gone beyond that stage. So, however the questions are being put, whether from online or from offline or from a solicitor and advocate who is not a legal practitioner, I don't think we will be shaken by it because we know we did the right thing. Again, the first commentator made positive comments about the government and asked the question about retired directors' gratuities. If directors who are recently retired are entitled to anything, they will receive them. Gratuity, pension, whatever it is their entitlement, they will receive them. If they have not received them, they will receive them. And that you can take to the bank. I guess that's about the two questions you asked. I believe that should be the last.
Yes.
Thank you.
I want to thank you, Your Excellency, for being part of this very good once again, and to members of the State Executive Council also thank you for coming. Senior colleagues, thank you for always being here. This is where we wrap it up, but before we do that, we would have to also recognize the stations that were parts of this interaction tonight. BC 88.1 FM, Flow 94.9 FM, Family Love 99.9 FM. We thank you.
We also thank Magic 102.9 FM, Vision Africa 104.1 FM, Real FM 99.1 FM.
Special thanks also to Paysita 103 FM, Sun FM 91.3 Bury, and Sun FM 91.9 Abba.
Special thanks to Zik FM 96.3, Spin 95.3 FM, Rapid 96.5 FM.
We appreciate streaming online on AFM, ABN TV, Ibero TV, and other online platforms. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and that is why we will draw the curtain on tonight's edition of Governor Otti Speaks to Abians.
We want to appreciate you. I remember your sincerely inclusivity. My name is Stanley Bass, son of 19.3.
And I am Jennifer Bassi, Flow 94.9 FM. Thank
all of you, media people, for the in this media chat this evening, this 30th day of January 2025. I'd like to thank especially our brothers and sisters, our parents, our friends, our relations who joined us from their homes. We appreciate it a great deal. We cannot take it for granted. Thank you, those who joined online, those who asked questions online, and those who also asked questions physically here. I want to thank all government appointees that found time to be here today. Thank you. And as you go back, pray that God will lead you back to your destinations safely. God bless you.
The national anthem, please.